Fatcat. Man, y'all rockin' a Fatcat show. This is my show. FAT, watch the time on you.
Say it one more time.
FATCAT. Man, y'all rockin' a Fatcat show. This is my show. FAT, watch the time on you.
Here we go.
No matter what you say, I'ma spit it how I spit it, so you niggas can't forget it. Everybody is a critic. I walk in the dark with my chronicles veridic, with my game up the bar, so your girl'll let me hit it. Damn, man, my show's simply marvelous. You can stop the hating and debating, you can't argue this. Cause if you found something better, you would sip Moretta while wearing an ugly sweater. But my show you listening, so stop the whimpering. This is for the sinners and the born again Christians. Turn to Philippians. Nope, you can miss me then. If you wanna talk, take my number, you can hit me then. Cause you know my show was rocking. Fatcat, remember that when your girl is shocking. When them headphones are knocking. Fatcat show and you don't stop the knocking.
FATCAT. Man, y'all rockin' a Fatcat show. This is my show. FAT, watch the time on you.
Say it one more time.
FATCAT. Man, y'all rockin' a Fatcat show. This is my show. FAT, watch the time on you.
Here we go.
Yo. What's cracking? You rocking with your boy, the sinister minister, the deacon, the Rabbi Raymond Noodle, the chaplain of fried chicken's last rites. What's happening with y'all? This is Fatcat, and I'm supposed to have my dog on today, but I don't know what's going on with him. But anyway, you know, the show must go on, but I'm thankful for everybody that chose to tune in today. And make sure you do me a favor right quick. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Fatcat Show Network on YouTube. You can slide over there and catch the show. You can also catch us on our above platforms that I got listed up here. And that's TuneIn, Deezer, iHeart, Spotify, iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, all the above platforms. Show your love, definitely. But anyway, you know, like we start all the shows off, we want to give birthday shout outs to those that are celebrating birthdays. So we want to say happy birthday to you, because it's definitely good to continue to be in the land of the living. Amen. Those hand claps are for you. But just like we got life, we got death. That's unfortunate. But we want to send our heartfelt condolences out to those who thank you. Definitely, we'll Ernest, we'll definitely get together on it too. Just leave your okay. I got you. We'll get together. We definitely, you know, life is a part of death is a part of life, and definitely we definitely got things to, you know, think about in death. Of course, we're gonna miss our loved ones and all of that, and unfortunately, one day, you know, we gotta leave here. So, but as the script, Jesus said, "Let not your heart be troubled. Believe in God. Believe also in me and my Father's house. There are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you." He said He's going to prepare a place for you. So definitely, we can definitely reassure that, you know, this is not the end for us. So definitely, I'm not going to get into preaching because I am a minister. But anyway, what's happening around Detroit today? Well, yesterday, of course, Chief James Craig stepped down. Of course, we heard this news coming in, the last couple of weeks, that he's making a run for governor, and he's going on to be a Republican. So this is something that's kind of, you know, we've been hearing around that the Democratic Party is bad for black people anyway, but I don't like to get into politics. But that was just some news that I just heard, and definitely we want to keep our eye on, because we got to wonder about the successor and what plans do he have for our wonderful city of Detroit. Of course, I grew up in Detroit. I was born and raised in Detroit. Grew up on the east side over there on Warren and Connor. Warren and Connor, not quite Connor, but Warren and Canfield. But I grew up on Hurlbut Street, and I had a good time over there. I went to Joy Middle School, Southeastern, and hey, Detroit. I love the city, regardless of what's happening. I still go down there. Still got a lot of family down there. What's up, Janine? What's happening? What's happening with everybody? And definitely, we get into some the hot part of our climate, and a lot of people. It's funny because leading up to this, man, I've been seeing a lot of killing and deaths, and that's one thing that make you dread the summer a little bit because it brings out the wildness in some people. Some people know how to go out and enjoy the nice sun and going with their families and doing things, and that's one thing that's kind of like hard to enjoy with the city because you have a agenda to go out and have fun, but other people, all they know is mischief. And I can tell you something right now. Like one particular time in the summer, me, my wife, and my kids, we decided to have a picnic one day, and we went out. We bought a grill, and we went across. People might say, "Hey, that's what you get for going to that area," but sometimes you be trying to give your city a chance. You try to give, a little credibility to something. But we went across Jefferson off the water, and of course over there it was like it's like two little tables. It was nobody. It was real early, and we broke the grills out. We did all that, and then this ghetto family came, and it would look like if we only had a bit of consideration for each other, just especially if you're going to do something that you know that is questionable, at least consider that everybody don't do what you do, and consider the kids. It's a lot of people that they don't really expose their kids to certain things, but this family came up and they commenced. They had kids too. And they commenced to smoking weed and doing everything like we want to be around that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, people are not considering. I think that's one of the parts that really begins to piss people off. And we be all up in uproar with certain things. So, but I don't know, man. It's just me. It's just me. I just, I like to be considerate of people. I don't try to push something off on somebody that hey, they might not like it. You know what I'm saying? Even with your neighbors and stuff. A lot of people don't know how to be neighborly. And that is one of the things that really that's really like trying for most people. But anyway, I ain't gonna sit and babble on this. I want to get to our first topic of today, and that's the Monique situation. It seemed that a lot of people were in an uproar when Monique brought this video up, and it's real funny that this would piss some people off. Because I look at growing up, I grew up not only watching a father, but I grew up watching a strong black woman, a couple of strong black women in my day. And it seems like in this era, in this time, like the integrity of women and, the respectability of most of these women are just slowly diminishing. And we done dropped the ball somewhere. Not only just women, just men, but for the sake of this topic, we're talking about women. And growing up watching my grandmother and my mother, they were, whenever they stepped out of the house, they like to always look presentable. You couldn't see. I can't even picture my grandmother until she got to the point where she couldn't really take care of herself and people had to, take care of her. But I can't even picture my grandmother. My grandmother never went out without her hair looking nice, without her dressing presentable and all that. I've never seen my grandmother out in public with a bonnet on or some pajamas. Or you couldn't. I never even seen my grandmother in an indecent mode. Because she didn't allow that. They didn't. They just had more respectability about things. And nowadays, it's nothing for these young ladies to come out looking like any and everything. Don't you know that when you go out in public, it's like an audition. You don't know who you running into. You don't know. You don't know who you might meet on the street, what opportunity might happen for you. You don't know what can, happen in your travels. So you want to always put your best foot forward. And even some of these guys, I'm going to go into the little bit of the guys with the hanging pants, nappy hair, beard all unkept. Stuff like that. You never know who's looking at you. You never know who's watching you. And a lot of times we done got away from things like that where we take certain situations serious. I know you probably are. I'm just going to slide out for a few minutes. But, hey, them few minutes might make a difference in your life. It might. You never know who you might run into. You might run into a CEO of some corporation that hey, might be doing something in your field that you want to do. What Ernest say? The sad reality is that no matter how many times this is talked about, they not going to change, especially the men with the pants. Yet, it just don't make no sense to me. It really don't. I'm just saying, don't nobody want to see your butt. Most of these guys, draws all showing, just everything, especially just if the women don't really respect themselves. Women, man, I grew up seeing good women. You know what I'm saying? And most of them wonder why most guys don't take them serious. And especially for the guys, how most people don't take them serious and all that. But I know I'm talking to myself, but this is a call-in show, so if you want to call and holler at your boy, that number is 646-564-9728. Press 1 if you want to comment. Yeah, this is just really the topic. What do y'all feel about that? Do you think Monique was wrong? I'm going to just say this simply for Monique. I think why she got so much backlash. Wait a minute. It really don't. Right, I hate it too, but what can we do other than do what Monique do? Yeah, you right. You're right. I think one of the things too, I think if Monique was kind of like, let's say, somebody that's looked at as respectable. I don't know if she's trying to change her image, but I just seen, Monique is kind of like one of them, I'm just saying, I know she probably put on a character for, her stand-up, her shows and stuff like that. But her character is more like a loudmouth, talking, trashy type, edgy type comedy type chick. And I think a lot of the chicks don't accept that from her. I think that's what it is. Hold on. You rocking with the Fatcat Show. What's happening?
What's good, bro? This is Ernest. How you doing, man?
All right. You're so good, Ernest. What's happening, man?
Hey, man. First and foremost, great show. I love the show. I love the topics.
Thank you.
Also the layout. I love that. I am a huge live streamer myself. But anywho, speaking on the topic of Monique, what Monique said, I don't think she's wrong.
Right.
But it's like she's preaching to the choir.
Okay.
And I say that because, how many times, how many years have we talked about men?
Right.
I'm going to talk about the men in a minute.
Right.
How many times have we talked about the men and their saggy pants, and they still walking around with the saggy pants?
Right.
We tried to scare them.
Right.
We tried to scare them with the tactic of how it started. It started in prison.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That they were advertising, for sex.
Right.
And you would think that by saying that, they would get the hint like, oh, I ain't gay. I'm gonna pull my pants up.
Right.
But it didn't work.
Right.
The great comedian Eddie Griffin pretty much put his D on that situation.
Right.
Women. So it for women, and like you just said about your grandma or your mom, I forgot who you said, your grandma or your mom,
both
walked out the house presentable.
Yeah.
Okay, your grandmother or your mom who walked out presentable every day. One, that's commendable, but we're living in a society now where it's almost like for women to take me as I am, or
yes,
some of the women just don't care no more.
Right.
So my wife, we just had a situation with my wife. We did. It wasn't an argument, but I was concerned. I was like, she loves Walmart. She loves Walmart, and she has her Walmart attire. And sometimes her Walmart attire is like, babe, like, you can't put on no jeans, no slippers, because at the end of the day, you represent who you are, and you represent us.
Yes.
I kinda understand where Monique was saying, but you have to look at society. They're comfortable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And for Monique to come out and say that, it's good that she said it, but what will it change?
Let me ask you a question. How old are you? I want to see if we're around the same age. How old are you?
I'm 47.
Yeah, we're around the same age. So we came from an era, just going back to like the men. We came in our era.
Right.
We didn't like going outside without a haircut. The guys in our era, we had to have. If you came to us and be like, man, I'm going such and such, we'd be like, man, I ain't got no fade, man. My fade, But
exactly.
Nowadays, these guys don't care. Like
they don't care.
Yeah, like per se, like my brother is kind of like, I got a younger brother, and he's kind of like in that wild like style. He'll have all these. His hair wild, beard wild, and you see tons of guys that look like them, and I'm still stuck on my era. I guess in every era that the other generation before always frowns on something. You know what I'm saying? With us, it was hip hop. They didn't like hip hop and the baggy pants, and you know what I'm saying. You need to wear your clothes fitting.
Right.
And then most of us. It's sad to say, the sagging came a little bit from our era, because with most of the guys. But like you said, it's nothing new. But like I said, when it turned into the thing where women is even crossing that line to not looking presentable, and then it's always that saying like, it ain't enough presentable, it ain't enough men out here, there ain't enough women. You know what I'm saying? It's just all kinds of things going on,
I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm gonna leave. My mom, when I was little, when I was growing up, I wasn't allowed to just run outside like kids do now. The kids just run outside and get lost. My mom had to okay me to go outside, but before she did, she made sure that my hair was combed, I had on clean clothes, I was presentable when I stepped outside. And one day, I looked at my mom and I said, Mom, why do you do that? She said, you represent me when you leave this door. When you leave out this door, you represent me. And I was like, man. I didn't know what that meant then.
Yeah.
But as I grew older and I, had my son, and I told him the same thing. You represent me when you leave out of this door.
Right. That's something.
So
Go ahead.
Right. I just want to say again, brother, great platform. Love your layout. Love the show, and I'll definitely be tuning in from now on. You got a fan.
I want to show some love to yours too. What's your platform?
It is called Charm City Direct TV.
Okay.
And basically do the same thing you do, brother. Talk about topics that's trending, celebrity news, a little bit of political views, and so forth and so on.
Well, if you got time, you can join me on today's show. If you got the time,
I'm in my studio now.
If you got the time,
I got the time, brother.
Okay. Definitely. So with that, wait, Janine, we got a couple of comments. Janine said, now the men are wearing tight pants like leggings. She said, just to keep them up.
Right.
Yeah, that's another thing. See, we wore, like, if our pants was tight, it was that's the way. They didn't sell baggy pants. Remember, a lot of things was straight legs back when we were like young coming up. But then when we got to that teen-like age, that's when stuff started changing. That's when the hip-hop era and stuff started coming.
Right.
Because I remember, man, like... Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, it's crazy because I had two pairs of pants when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Pair of Lees and a pair of Levi's.
Yeah.
Here's why. That the Levi pants, the leg, because I'm always I'm a straight leg type of person.
Right.
I can't do bell bottoms. I can't have my pants dragging down on the floor.
Yes.
I hate that.
Right.
So I wear my pants today a little tight. They not legging tight, but they're a little snug, just for that effect. I can't have my pants hanging down on the floor. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. Like, if my pants leg get caught underneath of my shoe, and I hear it, one, it damaged the pants.
Right.
And then I don't like how it sounds. Right. And then my pants are like falling down, and so I can identify me. This is just me with the tight look, because you wearing tight pants or little snug, pants.
Right.
Because I can't do the tight legging look. I can't do it.
Right.
But my pants are, considered a little tight. I am able to get in them. I'm able to run in them, walk in them, fine.
Right.
But I understand that, some of these guys out here wearing the extra tight pants, and I think, honestly, it's this, evolution. We went from the baggy era. We went from the tight era. If you look back some 70s. Of these rap videos and movies like Run DMC, Curtis Blow, they don't like tight pants.
Right.
But then we got into the baggy era with the long T-shirts and the long pants and the baggy pants.
Right.
Now we are back to the tight pants.
Right.
So I guess it's evolution. Evolution repeats itself,
Right.
Time repeats itself.
But they said that there's nothing new under the sun. So a lot of things like... Because think about, like, in the 60s, 70s, even the 50s, per se... when James Brown, Rick James, James Brown and all of them, like Bootsy Collins and all of them in that time, they wore tight things. Earth, Wind and Fire, tight. You know what I'm saying? All them type of things. So, like you said, things just come full circle. But like you said, there's another element that's going on also, as far as just with that, where I think a lot of things, the separation of black family, period. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Right.
it's just a lot of things with that's pertaining to just say the split of the mother and the father in the home. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
you know, just how most men are not being men today, and just all kinds of things
Right.
that are just happening right now. That is kind of like eliminating that process from men watching how men operate. Really, I grew up. I didn't have my
Right.
like my father, my biological father. We just got to, in recent years. We just got to a point where we got close and started, you know, like communicating, and my father is more instrumental in my life now than he ever was. But I grew up,
Right.
my grandparents were like my parents. And so I grew up,
Right.
my grandfather and grandmother, God rest their souls, my grandfather was a pastor. So I grew up watching
Okay.
a pastor, you know, and you
Right.
know, unfortunately,
Right.
I became a minister, you know, behind that. And so now, you know,
Right.
just watching how my grandfather instilled in me things, and you know, and now, but I have to look at most of the households that these kids are growing up in, and not, you know, and just how they let things go. You hearing things like that just compromising to people. I heard a young guy tell me, well, Kanye wore a dress. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Kanye wore a dress. They wear their pants baggy, and are these the role models?
Right. But that's Kanye. So I mean, if Kanye jump off of a building, are you going to jump off?
Right.
And that's another thing. Some of these celebrities. That's why I don't really, you know, follow some of these celebrities.
Yeah.
And what they do and what they say.
Right.
But the sad reality is it's a lot of kids and a lot of teenagers that do.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. The disconnect from parents.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of now, and I know this is off the subject, but a lot of parents don't act as parents. They want to be their child's friend.
Mm-hmm.
And fathers are, you know, missing within the household. But that's another podcast in itself. But my dad, he wasn't home. He wasn't in the home, but he came around. I knew who he was.
Right.
And the one thing he taught me was the value of, one, money, and the value of appearance. That when you step out the house, so when you step out of the house, you look a certain way. You dress a certain way.
Right.
And I lived with a pastor for 3 years of my teenage life.
Okay.
And if he caught my pants even slightly, if he saw a little piece of the underwear, he's like, boy, pull them pants up, you know, and it was stern, you know.
Right.
So you're right. It's like that disconnect between the man and the boy. Now we're talking about the boys, men and boys now. Now women, on the other hand, that same, you know, ideology needs to, you know, happen again. Like, babe, if before you walk out of that house, you know, you represent me.
Right.
Now, that's another thing. You're talking about comfortability. You see what I'm saying? A lot of women don't feel like pinning their hair up. A lot of women don't feel like doing their hair when they need to go to the grocery store, Walmart, or Target, or something like that.
Right.
I understand that, but I don't know. It's kind of like I keep going back to, we can talk about it till we blue in the face.
Right.
But will it ever change?
Yeah, that's
you know, that's the thing that and I appreciate Monique. I always loved Monique for, you know, for speaking out. One, and I hate to say this, but one, Monique don't really speak to the black people. I just feel as though that I hear what you're saying, Monique. I really do. But what can be done?
Right.
You know, you could walk outside with a bonnet on, but you're still considered a queen.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And maybe they feel comfortable in that.
Right.
You know,
I'm gonna say
that's my take on it.
I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna hop into our next thing. I think with Monique, if you going to for the queen kind of like title, and I think if young women that know her career and they look back on the span of it, they'll see. And this one of the things that got me. You know, I think sometimes it's not the message, it's the messenger. And you have to be very, very careful. Because like I said, I done seen stand-ups where Monique referred to herself as a B. You know what I'm saying? And this and this and that. So that and Queen don't match. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're trying to get that message across to a younger generation, because this younger generation, man, they will catch on to you so quick. Remember back in our generation, they just had, you say something to us, and we didn't have all these materials to go back and research. But now this generation now, they got the materials where they can go back and actually research. So, but with that being said, I'm gonna go to commercial, and then we're gonna get into our topic for today.
So we have a jewelry business, Jayla's Jazzy Jewelry. We sell $5 jewelry, $5 bling, $5 jewelry for all type of occasions. It's $5 plus tax. It's paparazzi jewelry, nickel free, lead free. So if you have any allergies or anything like that, this is the perfect jewelry line to have in your inventory. We ship, we accept cash app, and we will also meet within city limits for drop-offs. It's good for $20 or more. These will make perfect gifts for anniversary, Christmas coming up, even Sweetest Day pieces, or just even just to have in your personal inventory to where we have all kinds of styles of jewelry. So if you're interested, you can take a look on Jayla's Jazzy Jewelry. I'll post the link in the comments, or you can inbox me directly. And I can show you what I have and give you a personal tour of what we have on Messenger.
All right. Our topic for today: can you truly apologize for something that you meant to do? Can you truly apologize for something that you meant to do? I was thinking about this the other day because simply, I had recently just had to forgive a family member for something that I thought was foul, and simply off of my Christian belief, that was enough to kind of like push me into that direction, because I know love and forgiveness is key for God, but a lot of people don't subscribe to what I subscribe to. So that's the bigger question. One of the OGs back in the day, this is what he told me. He said, don't apologize for nothing. He said, because at the time you did it, you meant to do it. So I kind of looked at it. I was like, wow, that's deep. So can an apology truly be genuine? Can it, if you meant it, because I think because it's a difference between like accidentally doing something and intentionally. So can we truly apologize if we meant to do something?
It all depends on that something that was done. If it was harmful, then my answer would be yes.
Right.
If it was not harmful, then why are you apologizing? That's what I get from it.
Right, right.
So it's kind of it's all on a depends type of thing. Like, if you meant to do it in a rightful way, but the other person took it the wrong way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. So it all depends on what is done. Now, if you did something wrongful, and the person is by all means hurt by it, then by all means I'm apologizing every day, all day, because guilt and my conscience play a big role in my life. So
right.
I'm apologizing.
Right.
Yeah. But doing something that is rightful or right, so to speak, why are you apologizing?
Right. But you know what?
That's what I get out of it.
With some people, there's some lines that that you shouldn't cross. You know what I'm saying? That you shouldn't cross.
Right.
Like what the OG was telling me a couple of years ago. He told me like his brother slept with his wife. His brother slept with his wife. So that's one like things that we should not cross. That you know what I'm saying? Especially as boys, especially as friends. There's certain things. That's what I'm saying. Can an apology truly for acts like that? Can it truly be genuine? No. Yeah.
No. Because he subconsciously that was thought out. He wanted to.
Right. That's
so now there's no apology because the bro code is strong.
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the bro code right there.
Right.
Your best friend, your brother. Don't have sex with your best friend's, ex-girlfriend or girlfriend. No matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No apologies. No amounts of apologies can ever be forgiven for that.
But don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you shouldn't apologize, but it's all about to the person that you're apologizing to, whether it's acceptable for them. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said,
you're right.
I done had to. Sometimes it took time for me to like get over things that have been done to me. You know what I'm saying? And I had to kind of like really kind of like, because I was harboring something against a family member for the longest that really teed me off. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not one of them people that like to bring up stuff to start things. I'm a person that loves the process of healing and getting past. So that's the reason why I talk about a lot of things and all that, because this may help somebody. You know what I'm saying? This may help somebody because there's a lot of deep rooted issues. Like you said, you could have done something, and like you said, it may not have been meant for the person like they thought it was. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, me being a minister, I minister to a lot of people, and sometimes the truth hurts. It hurts bad, but I do it in the position of love. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, sometimes it's a thing with like critical, constructive criticism, and there's destructive. And you have to know, and you have to learn where that person's at mentally when you really engage in them. Because if they already tore down, you don't want to tear them down worse. You know what I'm saying? You want to give them something to build on. So I think of it like that whenever I'm like ministering to people. I always think of, and I always consider myself within ministering to people, because like they said, the word is a two-edged sword. So I always consider like, hey,
Right.
even when I'm telling people like, hey, come to church, come do this, come hear the word, come do that. And I always consider it was a time when I wasn't in church. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not
Right.
critical. I'm not critical of people. So it's
Right.
always good to consider that, So
Right. Right.
So anybody that want to comment on any of this, that number is, like I said before, 646-564-9728. Press 1 if you want to comment. You got something, Ernest?
No, it's crazy because I was just talking about the bro code, and I don't know what the sisters call it, but the covenant,
Right.
don't
Right.
talk. I mean, well, not talk, but don't involve yourself with your brother's ex-girlfriend, wife. And that's after they, broke up, or that's sacred right there, and sisters too. And I think what led to the conversation was I'm not sure if you are a Real Housewives of Atlanta fan. I'm not, but it was just that Portia from the show is engaged to another co-host husband, and it's crazy, and that she didn't give it time. They had just filed divorce.
Wow.
And Portia kind of stepped in, and now they're engaged to be married. So I can understand how the co-hosts feel about Portia. There's no apology, there's no statement, there's no there's nothing you could possibly say to me right now. How you can grin in my face 1 minute,
right,
and then in the back of me, you talking to my man,
right.
So I understand it. I understand it fully. So to answer your question, no, that I don't think you can come back every year and try to, hey, Ernest, look, I'm sorry. No, I don't want to hear it, bro. It's that simple.
Right.
It is that simple.
Right. Like I could bring something up this recently happened. The Charlamagne the guy Kwame Brown situation. Now,
right.
Now that the tripped out part about it is, see, there was when people apologize when there's benefit behind it. You know what I'm saying? Because now, here it is. You done brought this man family up. You done brought things up that he said, that he claims that, hey, he didn't even have no knowledge of. But you brought it up. You brought it up, and then the minute that he digs in your closet, then all of a sudden now it's a different thing. Now you want to send cease and desist letters. You know what I'm saying? So it's that thing, because you might have people, let's say that be around you, and they know they probably low key probably depend on you for certain things, or can how you. I don't want to call them leeches, but they probably kind of you mean something in their lives, and they draw something off of you, and then the minute that they do something and you separate yourself from them, and then they apologize, but you wonder if the apology is truly genuine, or is they trying to get back in your good graces because it's something that you supply for them. That's another thing,
Right.
That's another thing we think on. I just, because I had a person, a friend that did something foul to me. That did something foul to me as far as a young lady that I was talking to back in the day, and he kind of sad talked me, kind of to her, and it kind of like it really didn't know that the woman came back and told me. You know what I'm saying? So it was just, and then it was like, wow, this is my ace. You know,
right.
You know, so it really took me a minute to kind of like gather that, you know, to really like gather it up and do that. But just ultimately, just the person that I am, I forgave. You know what I'm saying? Because truly, during that time, the person really wasn't that strong to me anyway. Like the woman,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like this person was going to be my wife or anything like that. But it was just that I forgave. I choose to forgive and go on, and you know, and like I said, you know,
right.
But when you learn a lesson, you kind of like, especially with certain people, now you know where to keep these people. Now you know what to share with them. You know what I'm saying? Or you could just choose not to just deal with them. You know, period. Because I don't have to. I can forgive you and not deal with you. You know what I'm saying? I can forgive you and not deal with you, or I could just keep you. Or if I deal with you, I just keep you at a certain space. So it's, you know, it's all different. You know.
And that's what happened to me. Believe it or not, a friend in high school, he was talking behind my back to this girl that I really liked, and she started looking at me a little different because of what he was saying to her. But you know, instead of coming to the source to make sure it was, you know, true or not, she believed every word he was saying. And you're right. It's like, I can forgive you, but I don't have to, you know, be your friend. And right after that happened, you know, I said, look, I'm going to forgive you, but we not cool. And he couldn't understand that.
Right.
So he wound up like transferring to another school because the guilt and the pressure was too much for him. And, you know, the girl, I think she transferred as well. So you're right. It's, you know, it's all about, you know, that, you know, if you're my friend, you're my friend. If you're not, then I don't have nothing to do with you.
Right.
You know.
Right. It's
that's real easy to me.
Right. Because like you said, it's a definite man code. But it just seemed like in this generation, or I'm not even gonna go generation. It's just some people, man, they just lawless. They don't they don't care what kind of rule or code or you know thing exists. They just Charlie Murphy said. Habitual line steppers, you know, they just habitual line steppers, and that's and they do that, and then you know we all know people like that are just that you can't no matter what they just gonna step over that line, or you can't mention nothing to because they gonna blurt it out remember that time, you know, at the wrong time in front of the wrong people. You know them type of people, you know, and the mystery part to me is that they wonder why they're in a certain space with you. You know, the people, and this is how one of the cousin of mine is like. That cousin just wonder why they are in a certain space with certain people, and then when you try to confront the cousin and try to give them some food for thought, they begin to play the victim. Like, oh, everybody picking on me,
right?
You know, and that just
that's always the case. That's always the case. Every time when they get caught, they get mad and they play the victim. Yeah, and it was them who started the whole thing. Right. You know, and I say to him, like, I don't know why you mad. I should be the one mad.
Right. And that's the thing that really pissed. And in a sense, that's what Charlamagne is doing right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
He's
what
playing the victim.
Yeah, he playing the victim. Like, man, you know, cease and desist. And man, just truly, man, I got to see the interview with the young lady and all of that, man. They go to show you the contrast of just, and this is another little topic, but it's just how he escaped the charge. He escaped that charge. But here it is. They done nailed Bill Cosby though. You know,
man.
So it's
tell me about it.
It's crazy to me, man. It's just real crazy to me. I'm a very forgiving person. I think
right.
I think a lot of people, but at the same time, I do have some cutoff in me. I do have a cutoff game about myself that I can cut somebody off, but I'm all about building relationships and and networking.
Right.
That's the type of person that I am, and I'm gonna make sure that me and you continue to network, with each other, man. So we can continuously show each other support. I just, I just that apology thing. It just had me thinking like, man, if somebody, because I know it's another person that did something to me that really pissed me off, because like sometimes that's why they say you gotta watch what you do, watch what you say, because some things, some things you may forgive, but some things you never forget. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You never forget it, and one of the things that this person said to me kind of like stuck with me, even though I forgave the person, but it's just like I didn't think that person ever would have viewed me like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always careful. I'm always careful of what I put out there. They said the Bible say life and death is in the power of the tongue. And sometimes that tongue will get you in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be. Oh yeah. You have to. But and the Bible say the tongue is untamable. Sometimes it's untamable. That you said you can. It said you can tame a whale, a lion, and all that, but that tongue cannot be tamed. So you have to definitely be careful of what you put out in this atmosphere. And a lot of people don't understand that.
Right.
What you put out in this atmosphere come back and slap you right in your face. I done had it plenty of times happen to me,
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Right.
I just, I'm trying to think. One time I kind of like really did something unintentional to a person a long time ago, and it was at a job, and it was like this person, we were trying to start a union in this particular job, and I messed around and said it to the wrong person. To the wrong person, not knowing that person was playing me. Was playing me to find out who was the ringleader, and it ended up ended up hurting this person, and the person know who they are, and I just wanted to put it out in the atmosphere that I apologize for that, because like I said, I didn't know. I was a young kid, didn't quite know, I was still wet behind the ears, and and it really I never really got a chance to apologize to this person, but it was but I always felt bad about it, Did you have anything like that?
Yeah, it's crazy. A friend of mine, we used to have these things at our church called lock-ins, and of course lock-ins was sleepover.
Okay.
And so it grew like teenagers, a lot of teenagers, you know, from around the city, and you know, who went to the church. We would come together and, you know, just fellowship, have fun, watch videos, eat snacks. You know what teenagers and when I was growing up like to do. And it was two individuals that I, you know, that was really popular, and you know, coming to the lock-ins, and them two started dating. And so one day, my god sister, who can't hold water, I told her I used to rap. I used to rap back in the day, and I made a rap about them.
Okay.
And the rap kind of, you know, I told my god sister went back and told the girl told him.
Wow.
So, and he took offense to it, and he came up to my school and beat me up.
Wow.
And I don't know. I don't know what my god sister told them. That was the thing. And so I'm walking home like I normally do. I'm walking with two other people, and I noticed that it was him and it was like three other guys. It was his cousin. They were running down the street, down to where I'm at, and I looked, and I'm like, oh man, you know, so-and-so, you know. And I didn't think that the rap was that offensive. I don't know what I say, you know, that would make him do this.
Right.
And he walked up to me. His cousin was on the side. His cousin had a knife. He was about to stab me, and it got crazy.
Man.
Right, it got real crazy. Like I said, I don't know what my god sister told him. I don't know what my god sister told his girlfriend.
Wow.
So the guy, you know, hit me. I fell down. I'm trying to get back up. His cousin trying to stab me. He's trying to block his cousin from stabbing me.
Wow.
And all of this time, I'm wondering like what happened. So I get home with a black eye, and my mother's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I said, "I talk too much, Mom." That's what happened.
Wow.
And so my godmother's daughter, she was our Sunday school teacher, and pretty much she was like a mother figure to us. You know, we used to hang out and, you know, go places, go to the movies, stuff like that. She caught a whiff of it, and she was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I said, "Well, Miss Marsha, I can't take full, you know, I can't play the victim here."
Right.
Because I said something that needed to stay within me. And when she heard that, she was like, "Well, what did you do?" I said, "Well, I made a rap, and I told my god sister," and she was like, "Oh my God!" You know, people knew that my god sister couldn't hold water.
Yeah.
So, right. So later on, I say like a couple of weeks had passed, and he came back to the church, and I walked out, and you know, he said, "Look, I apologize for hitting you." I said, "Well, I apologize for making a rap. I shouldn't have made it." You know, but we remain friends because, like I said, you know, it was
90 seconds.
Right.
That should have stayed with me and not shared.
Right.
Especially to my god sister. So I was more mad at my god sister for saying stuff.
Right. Right.
So yeah, it taught me a valuable lesson to, you know, whatever I got to say to anybody, hold it in, just keep it to myself.
Right quick, we got
60 seconds.
60 seconds. Give people your info, your platform.
Sure. Charm City Direct TV. We are the heartbeat of the city here in Baltimore, Maryland. You can check me out on all social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, on at Charm City Direct TV. Now Twitter, it's you can find me on Twitter as well. Go to Charm City Direct TV, and you can see all previous content. You can see all live content, and like I said, we talk about just about everything from politics to celebrity news to relationship goals, healing. You name it, we try to cover it and try to talk about it.
Okay.
10 seconds.
We gonna be checking you out, but we want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we catch you later. And Ernest, I definitely be tuning in to you. Peace. We up out of here, y'all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.